Hey everybody, welcome to Hacking Gourmet. Yes, I took last week off, but for good reason. I've put over 8,000 miles on this trip of going across the country, and I've tried to taste barbecue just about everywhere. So before I get into the fun stuff, well, this is still fun stuff. See, I've already downplayed the whole thing. Can we start over? Oh, we can't. We're live. Anyway, follow us on social media, Hacking Gourmet, Instagram, Twitter, all those cool things. This is like the Clampets do a broadcast, and like Jonathan does a broadcast today, because Jonathan's like in a real studio. We have an awesome guest. We're not even cooking. We're actually just sitting here smoking cigars, BSing. I've got a Crown Heads in honor of who I'm with. Say hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
There we go. See, solid start to the thing. So let's get started. I'm not controlling anything. So I don't even, is everybody on now? Where are we?
Everybody's on. And by the way, you said we can't start this over because we're live. Please don't jinx us. We're using a different system today, so we could very much not be live at any point in time.
So you would think out of 40 episodes we would settle on a system, or you would think you know,
or we kind of know what we're doing,
or we know what we're doing. But then that's part of what makes it attractive. So anyway, so this episode's a little bit different. This is the Texas Massacre episode. We really got to have Jonathan stop making up the names, though, now that I think about it. But we should have called this the Wagyu episode, because there's going to be a story which we're going to share in a little bit about how we have a Wagyu brisket that is right now in the cooler wrapped. We should be ready in about 30 minutes. We also have a little treat that we're going to have. And Jonathan doesn't have snacks there. I guess he's going to have some jerky or something. But normally he's got snacks. We have snacks.
We have snacks.
And we have like really good snacks.
So we don't have snacks, but we do have the snack authority on the show with us. And not only did we said we didn't have snacks, but he brought snacks about 2 hours prior to the show. Before I even got the cameras set up, we had snacks.
You have to have snacks.
Well, why don't you introduce our guest, since everybody knows him and doesn't know us? So why don't you at least formally acknowledge who's sitting next to you, because it's super cool.
So we have David Garofalo today from Two Guys Smoke Shop in Salem, New Hampshire. We'll get into talking about the Gourmet Smoke Session next week. I wear sunglasses on the show. Yeah. So this is
from the bright lights.
Yeah, it bothers me.
I hear you.
Yeah. So
when you're cool, the sun shines on you like 24/7, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
There's no dark cloud there.
There's.
But yeah, we have David Garofalo from the Cigar Authority and the Snack Authority, and we're actually smoking one of his cigars today too. His actual cigar we're smoking, the Garofalo. We have later. So David, welcome to Hacking Gourmet.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and you said you needed to borrow the studio, and I squeezed myself in. Thank you for having me.
So yeah, you let me use the studio. I'm smoking his cigars. I'm eating his snacks. You're a best guest so far.
There we go.
Even grading on a curve, you're still the best guest so far. But is Snack Authority a real thing?
It is.
It's got to be if it's not.
Yep. We have snacks every Saturday morning, and this is what I do. I smoke cigars and I eat snacks. I know you're looking at me and say, no way, it's not possible. But yeah, I eat packaged snacks all the time, and work and sell cigars. So that's my whole life, unfortunately. But I like a nice barbecue too. I just don't know how to do it, but I'm learning from the best.
Well, we're going to try and guide through some of that. And by the way, you look great. On our side, the camera adds 10 pounds, and we have like 7 cameras here. So do the math.
Right.
That's our excuse.
So I'm going to say, if anyone has watched the Cigar Authority before, by the way, we have a special episode, Hacking Gourmet and the Cigar Authority, next week on Thursday, the Gourmet Smoke Sessions, which we'll be talking about, and we'll be here live as you. But however, you can tell that this is some big men that host the show, because I'll be honest, this camera's very slimming here. I've been looking, and it's taken like 20 pounds off me.
Well, I've lost 42 pounds since February, but I think the second I crossed the Texas border, I gained 10 immediately.
That's what happens.
So between smoked queso and briskets and wings, yeah, it's been jalapeno poppers, yeah, it's but we played one round of golf, so I figured that's probably that probably offsets.
You got your steps in.
Yeah, that's aerobics,
right?
I think the way I golf.
So coincidentally, I was actually in Texas last week. I missed all of you by one day, thankfully. I left Friday. I think you might have got there actually while I was there, but I was down there for work, so I was almost part of this in-person massacre. but I got out of town, so now we're up in New Hampshire. Said where we'll be next week for the Gourmet Smoke Session. And I've said it 3 times already, but we will talk about it a little bit more in the show. But so we're Two Guys Smoke Shop. I've actually cooked steak up here before.
You have?
For other people's show.
Yeah.
But what do we got going on here today? Because they're doing brisket. What
They're
do we
doing
bring to the
brisket,
table?
so I said, let me bring something on, and where he wants a snack and he's into meat, we decided to bring in the Smokehouse Cilantro Beef Jerky, and this is something I have made for me because you got to have a beef jerky. You got to be able to have some protein when you're working in the store. So we have a Two Guys Smokehouse Cilantro Beef Jerky. Along with that, so that we can have a little sweet and smoky thing going on at the same time, we have a fiery sriracha-style bacon jerky. Also, so we got beef and bacon. We got the surf and turf, as we call it here. That's the best we can do for here in New England, right? What kind of?
You had me at bacon. I'm on a plane. I gotta go. This is.
We need to get some overnight at ASAP.
So yeah, we're coming in pretty strong. You guys are usually the bacon guys, but we got the bacon jerky here. I'm already eating it. This is the first thing I've eaten all day today.
All right.
I needed it.
Listen, I went through tons and tons of sampling. So much so I felt bad for the company that was making it for me, and I said, let me send you some money in between. No, we're going to keep doing this till we get it right. And that was the beef jerky, and I think we nailed it, right? You've had it before.
I have, and
Yeah.
it's the thing with this beef jerky for me is the flavor intensity. Usually when you grab beef jerky, you don't get layered flavors. Like when you bite into this, it slowly grows on you, and there's a great spice on the end. And I mean, this is a good cut of meat. I don't even know what cut it is, but it must say it on there somewhere. It's a high quality cut.
Some people don't dig on cilantro. There's taste buds that people have it soapy or something like that. I'm certainly not one of them. I like what it tastes like, and we sell a ton of it.
Now, is this strictly in store, or is this something you get online?
We have it online too at twoguyscigars.com, the number 2guyscigars.com. And we have it in the stores, and it's the only snack that we have. There's nothing else. There's no candy bars or anything like that. We were thinking about it maybe someday, but we do our own private label sodas or tonics, as we call it out here. And lots of different flavors of root beer and cream sodas and raspberry and lime rickeys and all kinds of different things. And beef jerky.
This bacon jerky isn't really. This is just like slices of bacon in a container.
Right.
This is awesome.
So hypothetically, say someone wanted to order some of that jerky, where would they go? You like that setup?
Yep, twoguyscigars.com, number 2guyscigars.com, and there's the bacon on it, and that's what we do. We sell a ton of it.
I'd never had your bacon jerky. I'd only had the beef.
Oh, all right.
This is awesome.
It's for real, right?
Oh yeah.
That'll get you through. When you're stuck, you had a real strong cigar or something, you need a little something, a little fiery.
It's actually quite spicy.
Yeah.
I think you could have ended that with we just need to stop carning.
It is. You take the first couple of bites, you don't think so, and then all of a sudden it hits you.
Yeah, I ate 3 pieces before it hit me, and I should have taken my time.
Yep.
A little ahead of myself.
Wow, this has got a kick
He's
to
getting
it.
emotional.
Look at that. Woof.
Wow. It must be the lights. It must be the lights.
Yeah, it's not some dried out lousy bacon. I mean, this is real deal here, right?
This is a lot, Brian. Now I know how you feel when you're on the show. You don't really do a lot of cooking, mostly eating. I'm not eating usually this early on the show.
Okay, yes, you are normally eating because you normally have like snacks all set up to eat. Like, because you have low blood sugar. Is that your excuse? I don't know, but you're always snacking on the way to cooking.
So
see what happened in our studio audience?
Yeah, we got beef jerky up here now.
Bacon, they're all getting into it.
So Brian, did you get to try those cheese puff things that Fred keeps talking about on this
Moon
trip?
cheese.
Moon
cheese.
Yes, they were actually pretty good. A little bland, but
I
snack.
do moon cheese.
Oh, you have moon cheese.
All the
You're
time.
the only other person I've known that's heard of it.
There's always moon cheese at the house.
Have you done it?
I did that keto diet for a long time, and that's one of the things you could have.
It's actually pretty good, and you don't need to eat a lot of it because I mean, it's like freeze. I don't know. I think the astronauts eat it. I think that's what it is. But basically, it's like freeze-dried cheese. But they've got a couple like the Gouda ones really good, and they've got it's actually pretty tasty.
So I do have another announcement. We had our first, shockingly, we had our first copyright infringement issue this past week.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
On the episode that you weren't on, Fred, we had background music, which I was going to play today because we do own the license for it. However, YouTube doesn't feel like I do own the license for it. So I'm in a copyright dispute with YouTube right now for our background music. So we'll have that back eventually. But that was kind of cool. I think that was that wasn't the first thing I thought we'd have an issue with. I thought the show covers that I've been doing would be a big problem since I've been knocking off movies, but apparently I'm covered by parody because this show's just a joke. but no, music. We got a copyright infringement. I got the Hacking Gourmet legal team.
Nice, you've made it. You've made it. First lawsuit, and that's beautiful.
I'd just like to note that he said the one episode that Fred wasn't on is when all this went down. Right. Yeah, okay.
Can't take any time off. You never know what's going to happen.
I know, right? Actually, I was supposed to be on the show, and I got stuck at a rock slide up in above Moab or something like that, and there's no cell service up there. But they got through. The episode was good without me. I think it was better without me personally, but they won't let me out of the contract, so
no, we needed someone to fill in some of the gaps because it just got a little out of control there, and I was touching on my computer was broken, so I have another new computer. So that was a challenge, but all right, so
calms the cigar down.
It does a lot. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the cigar we've got here today.
This is the Garofalo Torpedo I chose today, and it's a sun-grown Nicaraguan Puro made at Perdomo, and he does a good job, but there's a lot of spice to it. So if you actually go to the bacon jerky, then you go to it, all the spice is gone, right?
This is a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be using the cigar to cleanse my palate from bacon.
And there's a guy with a powerful,
stronger smoke. Yeah. So no, I'm enjoying it, but no, I've stopped on the bacon jerky for now. I'll take it up in a second, but this has been a good palate cleanser. What are you guys smoking today, other than brisket?
I'm smoking the Crown Heads Mil Diaz, our newest cigar from Tabacalera Pichardo.
Yeah, and I've got the Las Calaveras, the newest one, out right now, which I was just commenting. It's always been one of my favorite blends. I had that the other night, which I thought was a solid medium smoke. The Las Calaveras, I've always loved it when I was on the road and stuff. If I found some, particularly when the first two started going out, you couldn't find them. I'd buy them anytime I found them. This blend for me, the first one was my favorite, and then I liked it how when like the next one comes out, I go, it doesn't taste anything like the first one.
Right.
Well, it's not supposed to.
Right.
But this one for me is perfectly in my wheelhouse. Very much like if you liked the first one, then I would say definitely look for the one that's out right now because it is very, very solid.
Who's our little four-legged friend over there? You want some of that?
So, two German. And behind me is Dallas. I don't know if you can see her.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with the name?
Well, Dallas, because Dallas Cowboys live in Dallas. And
I
just Googled.
Because Pippi Longstocking was your favorite
popular German Shepherd names for females.
So to kick it off, and I want to talk about Dave's shop because I'm as a marketing guy, I love what he does with his shop. So I do want to talk about that, like the whole Thanksgiving bowling thing and stuff like that, which I think has got to be super cool. So what happened was I was actually just coming here to Dallas. We planned on this all along, was to drop by Brian and actually cook something here. And I've had this off-road trailer I've been pulling around. We went, the desert and Montana and Glacier and all this stuff. So anyway, I called my brother-in-law and I needed a place to park the RV because I'm staying at my sister's house for the week. And he says, there's a place around the corner, up the hill or whatever. And so I pulled it up online, and it's kind of the steel building. It doesn't really look like much of anything. And I go in there, and it's gorgeous. I mean, there's couches, and this is just a place to store. They got these walls where you put your RVs behind or whatever. And I'm sitting here at the counter, and I'm filling out the paperwork, and I can see a glass behind him in an office. And behind that, it looks like a kitchen. I can see the stainless. I see some people, and I'm thinking. So I asked the guy, I said, "Do you have a restaurant here?" He's like, "No, we do. We have Don Canada's here, and this is where he bases his Wagyu 99 out of." And I'm like, "Tell me more." So he says, well, let me get the guy for you. So he comes out and he gives me a tour of the kitchen and everything. And it was an amazing facility that was just dumb luck that we fell on. These guys weren't even on my radar. I didn't know anything about them. So he has over the cattle's in Montana and Nebraska or something like that. He has over 700 head of Wagyu, and it's 99.5% purebred. And that's his thing. So what he did, and we're going to do actually on the show. So what he gave me that day, and I said, well, wait, I called Brian and said, well, what are we doing on Monday? Because stop, I think I've got something cool we can do. And he gave me, he has mostly, it comes in not frozen, it's fresh. You have a window to buy fresh meat there that's never been frozen, and then he starts to freeze the tomahawks and ribeyes, and the tri-tip looks absolutely amazing. And he says, well, take this home and try it. So he gave me a pack like this, and this is what he was putting forward first, and it's a pre-cooked Wagyu filet. So you already lost me at pre-cooked. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm not really interested. He cold smokes it at 120 to 120, and then he puts it in these packs. So the sous vide guys are probably happy with something like this. So I took it home the next morning for breakfast. I cut up a couple slices, and I'm like, wow, it's really good. It had really good marbleization to it, flavor potential as we call it on the show. And I was kind of blown away with it. So I was kind of lazy, and I didn't, I wasn't going to fire up a sous vide, and I didn't want to fire up the pellet grill or anything like that. So I took about 4 slices that I had left, and I threw them in the microwave for 12 seconds with the sole purpose of basically just getting it closer to room temperature. And it just melted the fat. And it was like butter. So we're going to actually slice one of these up right now and just see if it recreates that or if I had a one-off. But long story short, what we have on the show that we got is that I was able to get a 10-pound Wagyu brisket, never frozen, 99.5% purebred. So that's what we did. We smoked all day today. It's wrapped up. Like I said, should be ready to come out here in about 15 minutes, and we're going to try it. It'll be an interesting debate on Wagyu because, if especially in Texas, if you're used to brisket, I prefer moist brisket than I do dry. I know it's not healthier. Bottom line is it's got a lot of fat. It breaks down. There's just so much flavor in a moist brisket. I mean, if you're doing a brisket, I think that's the way to go. But it'll be interesting for me. I've actually never had a Wagyu brisket because, quite frankly, I'm not going to spend $350 on a brisket because I've always been happy with the other briskets. So I'm interested to see, with all that extra fat, what does a Wagyu brisket taste like? So these are fillets. These are just room temperature. I don't know if you're going to be able to see any marbleization or whatever.
So that was my question. A 10-pound roast of Wagyu, that's got to be big bucks.
$350. Whoa. Hey, hello. Easy, buddy.
Budget on this show.
Yeah, waving a Wagyu beef in front of the 2 dogs, right? Those poor things. They're freaking out.
This is going to be like a Cops episode later when they come find the bodies and the dogs have finished up the Wagyu. And well, most people know, so like Wagyu, and Jonathan's probably the expert in the Wagyu, but we'll talk about it. But basically what you're looking for when you look for a steak, and we talk about it on the show all the time, you're looking for how much fat's in the steak. And what you really want to see is a lot of marbleization in there. And what the cool thing about Wagyu is the percentage of fat is much greater, but it's also very small. I look at some of his tri-tips, and I mean, it's not 50-50, but man, it was damn close. 60% meat, 40% fat, but just little tiny strands of fat going through it. And it's amazing. Now, whether it's worth it in a brisket, I don't know. I'm really curious on whether, that's going to be worth the price jump or not.
So with Wagyu, essentially means Japanese cattle. Those two, Wag is one word and U is the other, Japanese cattle. And has high marbling, high fat content in general. But what they do is they essentially massage the cows. They live a very lavish life. And what that does is spreads the fat throughout the muscle tissue rather than it building up. So if you ever have a ribeye, like on our first gourmet session, the test run we had on the 24th of September, we had a really nice prime ribeye. And you can see the marbling was really spread throughout the muscle. When you get to lower grades of beef, you'll see, like in the middle of the ribeye where the spinalis is, which is the top cap, essentially, the ribeye cap, and then the eye of the round, the eye of the ribeye, there's usually a big fat deposit in there. Really what you want to do is have that spread throughout the meat rather than one spot.
Sure.
So with Wagyu, that fat is spread out. And if you look at a Wagyu ribeye, you have very little fat deposit in that one spot because it's spread throughout the muscle.
And that's from the massaging.
Yeah, massaging and the diet and whatnot, but mainly massaging because it's It gives it essentially loosens the muscle up. And
Does that work
allows
for
the fat
people too?
I think so, right? Yeah, well, you know what?
I have 85% Wagyu.
Yes.
Most people don't realize that, but you know.
So
Book the massage people.
But yeah, on your brisket, it's going to be awesome because it's a slow cook, so it's going to pull. Wagyu also, when you have a high fat content, it usually cooks a little slower because you're going to break the fat down. That's why if you have like grass-fed beef really has low fat content, so the protein cooks up, the muscle cooks up quicker. So with this, you should have incredible flavor because that fat is what you're breaking down. In a slow cook, it's going to absorb it entirely into the muscle because you're breaking it down over a long period of time. So yeah, it should be awesome for brisket. Yeah. That's why brisket's good anyway.
Like he was saying, it kind of melts in your mouth at that point. You put it in there, and the fat's just going to melt away.
So I would say, we're going to slice this up, and Brian's going to drop this in the microwave. So we're going to slice this up into like 4 pieces.
Let me tell you, just cold, it's extremely tender. I mean, I'm thinking jerky. Yeah. But it's tender, but the smoke is so pronounced.
And like I said, he lost me when he says, "Hey, here, take home this pre-cooked piece of Wagyu." I'm just like, I mean, we're kind of a little bit. I'm not purists on the show, but we're like, I don't know how you cooked it. I don't know what it is, but he definitely had it dialed in right. So we're gonna slice this into 4, and if it does what it did before, this is where the magic happens. Right, so as it is cold, it's like a really, really good filet. Do I get that it's Wagyu, not necessarily cold? Not really. It's got great flavor. It's definitely very tender. Much more tender than a pre-cooked filet would be. Normally, you only get that when it's hot and it's right there and you're slicing through. So and I'm not going to say do this at home. Do not take a Wagyu steak and throw it in a microwave. It was actually a test that I wanted to see what would happen. So Brian's going to slice the rest of it into 4 slices. 12 seconds.
Do they recommend you eat it cold, or do they recommend you eat it warm, or both ways?
He said most people heat it up. So we didn't really get into how they heat it up. I mean, maybe they just throw it into a pan for a little bit or throw it on the grill. The problem I have with pre-cooked like that, even at 120 though, how do you heat all the way through it and not start cooking it? I hate to say it, sous vide may be the way to go because you can protect the overall temp as you're doing it. But sous vide's not going to break down the fat as much in a Wagyu. And Brian can talk about that a little bit more, but I only did it for about 12 seconds in the microwave, and it just melted off the fat that was inside. So we're going to try it now. You can just tell just by.
I'm surprised Brian's not chopping this up and putting cheese whiz on it in a sandwich.
Wow.
Now this is totally different.
Yeah.
This is just like there is no fibrous part to it. Now the smoke comes out.
It's challenging. When they have food and we don't.
Right.
I mean, now the smoke comes out. Have you had anything that tender?
Nothing.
I mean,
that's crazy. Wow.
For me, it looked almost like a cured piece of meat. It was almost. Send me some pictures. It looked like.
Because it's also darker, so you can see it now. It almost gets like a ring. I don't know if you can see that on there or not. I don't think it's bright enough here to see it, but it almost looks like you can see the smoke ring. You can definitely see. It's probably half a centimeter, maybe a little bit more. What looks like a smoke ring, and he's cold smoking it, and he cold smokes it to 120.
And you can tell it's medium rare.
Yeah. But it's just it's so tender.
Yeah, I want that. They got to have it around here somewhere. They got to have something like that up here in Massachusetts. I don't know. I haven't seen.
Okay, but here's the deal. So these guys have. If you go to the Wagyu Buyers Club, he actually ships all of it, and you can get on a monthly program if you want. You can order one off on it. He had a 5-pound tomahawk. I was tempted to bring that over and do that instead, but I wanted to do brisket because I hadn't had a Wagyu brisket. But so you can go to the Wagyu Buyers Club, and you can actually get on a program where every month they send you some ribeyes, or they send they have packages. So you can get ribeyes, New York steaks, fillets, whatever you want to get. You can stop the subscription at any time. If you're local though, which the cool thing about local is like I said, there's a window every 2 months when they only harvest is a better way to say it.
Right.
They only harvest what they think they're going to go through fairly quickly. So they're in a 2-month cycle, as I understand it. So when he gets the stuff in there, you can actually get it fresh. So this brisket was never frozen. So his ground beef and stuff like that you can get as well. But this has never been frozen. So if you're here local, you can pop right up there and walk in, and you can get some jerky if you want. But you can also get some of these steaks not frozen.
I checked the website out too. It looks like they have a pretty unique ground beef program too.
Yeah.
on there. They had some ground beef membership, so it was kind of like a crowd cow type thing, but different, like locally. And it was a really when you sent me the info, I was like, this is really cool. I know we talked about it because we do have a meat sponsor, but we're a food show, so when we find good food, we're gonna talk about it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick some of it up and give it a shot. And look, I said that filet you guys have looks awesome.
Well, he doesn't have them very often, but he had a tri-tip there that he had in the steaks. He had a couple steaks left, and the tri-tip looked absolutely amazing.
Tri-tip's already well marbled, but
Yeah.
Wagyu tri-tip is insane.
How many cattle does he have there?
Just over, well, they're in Montana, Washington, and I think Nebraska, over 700. Which is
a big ranch.
Yeah, it's got to be, and it's part. As I understand it, it's part of a co-op, and some of it goes to restaurants. But he had a different vision, and he wanted to be able to supply Wagyu. And we're always on the show. We're always looking for where can we get better cuts of meat. One of our sponsors obviously has great cuts of meat. So when I stumbled on this, and what's so cool is that when it happens by accident. I mean, literally, this was not planned whatsoever. To stumble on this was just, an amazing find.
And the place has got a kitchen. I can actually do a show from.
Yeah, so that's what we talked about, doing an actual Wagyu episode that Brian just goes to their kitchen. And then he's got 2 smokers that are giant out back that he's doing a lot of stuff on.
All right.
Are we ready?
One of our viewers, Wade Hill, and fans, is he's actually participating in next week's Gourmet Smoke Session.
Wow.
He bought the 2 guys set early. He smoked one of the bulls already. He's cooking bison ribeye tonight from a bison purveyor.
Oh, nice.
In Nebraska. So he's got that going on as we're watching the show. So I'm interested to see how that comes out. And I'm here eating beef jerky.
There we go. Yeah. It's the best I could do. I'm sorry.
It's pretty damn good.
We got Wagyu, and what am I going to do here?
Hey, now you know how I feel on most episodes when I'm watching both of you cook, and I got nothing. I'm eating moon cheese.
Moon cheese.
I said at least there's good snacks. There's good snacks. I'm happy with the jerky sort of. I ate steak like 6 of the last 7 nights, so it's probably good that I take a day off on the Wagyu episode. So guys, this next segment is the top 5 list, which we don't have. However, you two did do the top 5 list, and the top 5 list this week was top 5 Texas cuisine. So Brian's list here. Brian goes a barbecue, Tex-Mex, kolaches, Whataburger, and corn dogs.
Which
kolache? Corn dogs, Texas.
You're created here. Texas steak.
Kolache.
Brian, can you tell us what kolaches are?
Kolaches are Czechoslovakian. So in a city called West Texas, not West Texas, but the city of West, there's a huge Czech population there. So there's a place on the way to Waco from Dallas and on the way back from Austin. It's called the Czech Stop. And they sell millions of these. So it's like a dinner roll, so to speak, but it's totally different.
It's flat.
Well, yeah, they're kind of round,
flat-ish.
but they're either filled with fruits or they're filled with meat. So you can get like a sausage cheese kolache, or you can get a strawberry kolache. And you can get them hot, you can get them cold. They are phenomenal to eat.
So like everybody in the cigar industry that's on tour, whether it was a maker or whatever, anybody going from south that's heading up to Dallas, they're all stopping at the Czech Stop.
You can ask anybody from Texas. You can just say, hey, what do you think of the city of West? The first word out of their mouth will be kolaches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never heard of it before.
So Fred's list is barbecue. So that's on there twice. Breakfast tacos. Buc-ee's, the gas station. Buc-ee's is a big gas station truck stop. It's legendary.
Really?
Yep. And we've got kolaches on here again, and Whataburger again. So we're 3 for 5 on there. I was kind of surprised that Brian didn't tacos on here. I think that's what you went with Tex-Mex, right?
You're clearly downplaying Buc-ee's as a gas station, and yes, they're a gas. It is the Disneyland of places to stop. Like if they don't end up, there we go. If they don't end up everywhere, so they're privately owned. I wish they weren't, so I could invest in them, on the stock market. But you walk in, it's half the size of a Walmart, maybe.
Right. It's not a truck stop. It's a convenience store.
But it's giant.
Most of them have 144 gas pumps.
They sell grills.
And you usually have to wait for one to open up to pull in. The great thing about Buc-ee's is when you walk in, they usually have 50 urinals in the bathroom and 18 fully walled, fully doored stalls. If you walk
and
in,
700 hand sanitizer.
700 hand sanitizer.
Pre-COVID.
But if you walk in and use the bathroom, get a cup of coffee, get something to eat, you're out and back. Even if there's 300 people in the store, you're back in your car in 2 minutes, 3 minute stops.
So the other thing that's neat about Buc-ee's is like, so the first time I went there, and everybody's making a big deal about Buc-ee's, and I had been there years ago, and I walk in, and I asked the gal, I'm like, do you have any beef jerky? Because speaking of beef jerky, and she's like, oh yeah, it's over on the counter over there. I walk over there, and okay, there wasn't a beam of light, but there might as well been.
Angels were singing.
It is, I'm not lying, it is 20 to 25 feet of a deli-style appearance of all these different beef jerkies. And that's how you start. And then there's like brisket tacos over here. There's a full deli. Everybody likes the beaver nuggets or whatever they are, which is basically like Captain Crunch. I don't know a better way to describe it, but they have different flavors.
Corn puffs.
But anything you want to buy. You want a T-shirt. You need a deer feeder. That's out front. You need a pellet grill. You know, you need deer corn. Whatever it is.
Chairs.
But it is the ultimate rest stop. Or
no 18-wheelers allowed.
I'll hit the DJ horn for this one. This just in. William Cooper, Coop with the scoop, says Buc-ee's is coming to Florida.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, it's outside Daytona. They've had that sign there forever. So there's probably, how many are here? 10, 12, maybe?
No, there's almost 20.
There's almost 20?
There's now 2 in Alabama. They were going to open up in Louisiana. Louisiana said no, so they said, all right, we'll go to Alabama, and then they're going to be in Daytona.
If there's not 200 of these in the next 10 years, I'll be amazed. And they strategically put themselves on a main thoroughfare, usually between cities or just outside the city, so they can still capture some of the city people. But everybody, that's just where you stop.
Yeah, Google it and look at the pictures. You'll be amazed how big these places are. You have walls of candy. If there's something you need, they have it. If they don't, then you don't need it.
So, like, if I was the snack authority, I would definitely.
You would know about
Buc-ee's. I would go.
Yeah.
Well, I want to believe what you're saying, but I'm gonna. Little controversy right here is your list seems good, but both of you have had one thing on there that I am familiar with, and I don't think very highly of it, and that's Whataburger. I don't get it.
All right,
you know
show's
what?
over.
No, look,
I don't get it.
We're using his studio. The show can't be over for another 27 minutes.
Whataburger is not the best burger.
No, it is not.
But it's not. But until they sold, which was last year, it was a really neat family-owned big franchise, super nice people. But you know what I like about it, and this is my indication, I want a burger at 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't want an egg and pancake breakfast. I'm occasionally an egg McMuffin or something like that. But if I want a burger, they will give you a burger. They will give you an A1 steak burger at 8 o'clock in the morning, and that got it on the list for me.
And their patty melts are legendary.
The patty melts are good.
Well, that's good customer service if they make you a burger. You mentioned Coop is listening, right? Because he ain't eating an egg sandwich either.
No.
Yeah, so that's good for
well,
him.
And honestly, their ketchup is good.
Yeah,
they're pretty much known for their ketchup.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I've had.
Spicy.
I thought I had to go down to Las Vegas to try it. And you have to go to this place. You have to go. And I went down. And I was disappointed.
Well, the same thing for me with like In-N-Out. People are like, oh, you got to go In-N-Out. It's a good burger with like okay fries.
Yeah.
It's just okay. But I don't know how you guys are with this. I've never eaten Whataburger, not at night or in the morning. When somebody's buying it during the day, I'm questioning them. Like, what's wrong with this person?
You're not even drunk yet, right?
No, yeah.
Well, that's exactly my point on In-N-Out. I mean, In-N-Out, okay, great. It's 2:30 in the morning. You're starving. You had a bunch of beers. It's like, yeah, anything tastes good, except White Castle. Not a fan of White Castle. I
agree. That's the worst.
Yeah, it's not even. I don't even know what it is.
I didn't make a top 5 list, but I was just in Texas, and I think the national cuisine, and I'll say national because Texas is that big, should be hibachi. I've never seen a larger collection of hibachi restaurants than I've seen in the Metro Dallas area or the rest of Texas. Every mile, there was at least 7 Japanese hibachi restaurants.
I would challenge that.
Yeah, well, and I probably agree with you, but I think it's actually just to trap the tourists so you don't tie up the good barbecue places.
Right,
I think it's just a trap.
It could be.
I have never had hibachi in Texas.
Maybe twice.
I did it twice last week because there was 7 of them within a half a mile.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was delicious. It was absolutely fantastic. Took one of our customers out. We had a good meal. There was a spot in Euless that we went. It was fantastic. It was excellent. I accidentally went. There's so many hibachi places. I accidentally went to the wrong hibachi restaurant and had to order a glass of wine because I felt embarrassed that we had a reservation at the other hibachi place.
Yeah.
They were fine with it.
Hibachi or like Texas Day Brazil? Like
No, this was hibachi. This was Japanese hibachi right in front of me during the show. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Now that
If Dave's going to question Whataburger, then I'm questioning hibachi.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are churrascarias. Yeah, and I did that twice last week too.
yeah, awful salty.
Yeah. Oh, very salty.
Yeah.
They want you to drink. They want you
Right.
to fill up and get. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got all the tricks there.
Yeah.
That's where you got the little flipper thing that's like red or green,
Red,
and
yeah.
okay, keep moving, chicken boy. I'm waiting for the tenderloin. Just keep walking by.
Yes. I even reject the bacon wrap chicken. Like, just don't fill me up with that garbage.
Yeah,
It's just empty calories.
yeah, they're dropping bread. I'm like, just keep your bread, okay? I'm here for meat sweats.
So this is a good time. Let's talk about the Gourmet Smoke Session a little bit. We've got, as I said, we've got a program we're going to be doing with Crown Heads in 2021 as well. But La Flor Dominicana Gourmet Smoke Session, we're actually in the venue that it's going to be taking place in, and that's coming up on October 29th. That's
Correct.
next Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah.
next Thursday. So we'll be doing that here at Two Guys Smoke Shop. I'll be preparing tomahawk steaks for a private group of about 50 people. I think we're doing 40 or 50 people.
Drunken cheese, whatever that is.
Yeah, we've got drunken Italian cheese. We've
Yeah.
got tomahawk prime ribeyes, and we added a little bit for the grand launch here, the jamon serrano. So we'll have our charcuterie station. We're gonna have a wine station. I believe all the packages are sold out. Correct? The
Yes.
cigar packages.
Yep. Nothing
How
about.
are you gonna cook 50 tomahawks?
I'm gonna sous vide them. Is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna be doing a preparation on a Blackstone grill. We'll be doing one with the tempered cook. The ones we're going to be serving for the guests, there'll be one per table. I think we have about 12 tables that we have, and those will be 11 of those will be sous vide, and then we're just going to sear them at the end. Mr. Jonathan here from Two Guys, we were talking this morning, and he's like, "How are you going to cook these 12 things?" He's like, "Do you want me to bring the sous vide in?" He goes, "If not, it's going to be a nightmare." And I said, "That's a great idea." So I'm going to have to sous vide, and everybody knows how I feel about that. But the reason I'm doing it, I said, "Yep." I go, "The steaks are going to come out perfect."
And they will. They will. I mean, just sous vide it in your hotel bathtub or something like that. Where you got enough space.
But if people are interested in still participating, there are some LFD cigar packages still available on Two Guys Cigars. And we've got a special cigar that's coming in. Since I'm with Hacking Gourmet, I'm going to pass it over to you. You're the cigar guy right now.
Yeah.
We got a special cigar that's going to be available for sale that evening as well.
So as we picked 50 people, the first 50 people, we have 200 packages we sold. And the first 50 people are going to get to come here live and actually witness this and be able to sample it. So the other people can actually go online and buy the steaks and do it themselves, or certainly after the fact if they want to watch it done before and then do it. And we will be launching for the people that show up. In their package, they're actually getting an extra added bonus when they come in, and they're all going to get this special cigar. And we're going to make some packages up to have available online. That cigar being launched that night can be purchased that night in these different packages that'll be available. And this is a very unique cigar. I haven't seen the cigar, but you've told me about it. And it is the Tomahawk. Can we say that?
Yeah. It's the LFD Tomahawk. It's Gourmet Smoke Sessions 1 of 16 editions, so it'll be the very first.
Notice I said it first, then asked you if I could say it.
Yeah. and we talked about it earlier too.
Right.
Yeah, it was still.
Well, you were smart to take the first one because Tomahawk. It's going to be tough to have a name to beat that. And like that last guy, he's going to get the LFD hot dog or something. I mean, there's not much. The names have all gone by then.
There is something fun planned for the very last session. That'll be in February of 2022. But
it's the beef jerky one.
Yeah, we'll be doing
the LFD leftovers.
But so we're excited for that. And then the food packages are still available on meatandbone.com. Our friends over there, just go on their website, meatandbone.com.
Meat and bone,
meat
right?
and the letter N, bone.com. And those packages are on there. Just search for hacking. You can see in the bottom left-hand side here the information. And we've been posting it, but should be a really fun time. Thank you for Dave for allowing us to do it on the Cigar Authority.
Listen, I bought the package already. I didn't receive it yet, but I got it, and it's just going to stay in the refrigerator till after, and then I'm going to go the next day and try attempting it after I see the right way to do it.
So those that are watching on our Facebook Live here and that participated in the first the test session we had, this will be broadcast through the Cigar Authority. It will not be on our YouTube page until after the show, but obviously Cigar Authority's got a little bit more exposure than we have, so it's a big deal for Hacking Gourmet, and it's going to be next Thursday, a little over a week away, and should be a great time.
And we always do our show on Saturday. We always thought about Thursday nights. It seems all the cigar guys end up doing their shows on Thursday night. There's got to be a reason for it. More live viewers, I guess. So
are there other shows out there other than Cigar Authority? I'm not aware.
There are other ones out there. So, but we are going to go on live at 7 p.m., I believe, right?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Next Thursday, October 29th. And we were going to make it so just the people that bought into the package were going to be able to do it. It sold out so quickly, and then we're just sitting around saying, okay, what are we going to do? So we might as well just open it up to everybody and let them be part of it and see what it's all about. And maybe they'll purchase the beef and stuff after, but they'll at least see what the Hacking Gourmet is all about.
You want to show them the brisket? We're getting ready to slice up the brisket. You want to see the brisket?
I do. I want to see it.
So the thing that struck us right out of the gate was the color of it, and I don't know how well that's going to come across, but this is a 10-pound Wagyu brisket.
And would you say you're at 125?
Yeah, right.
Can you see that all right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Let's hold it right there for a second, Brian. Let me flip over just to you guys real quick. Oh, beautiful.
So we're going to cut it and see what it looks like inside.
You can see the grain.
Yeah. I mean, you can see the grain on the top. I mean, I know it's different. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to do a Jonathan thing, and I'm going to take a picture.
Yeah, take it before we eat it all.
Jonathan, if I don't bring some of this home to some of the other people, I'm a dead man.
All right, we'll go cut it up.
So he's going to cut it up, and let's see what happens. I've never had a Wagyu brisket. So
I haven't either. The one thing that's interesting to this for me is I'd be interested to see how much weight was lost on it. She said it was 10 pounds. I was interested.
It was 9.5 pounds. Brian, I don't think it lost a lot of weight, did it?
No, maybe a couple pounds.
Maybe 2 pounds at most. That surprised me also because I thought it would start at 9.5, 10 pounds, and I thought it would be 5 pounds when I'm done. I'm surprised how big it still is. But it's been wrapped for the last 2 hours and just kind of doing that thing. Which if you're following and you're gonna try these at home, definitely cook the brisket. Definitely wrap it in the butcher paper and put it back on, get it to a temp, and then you literally just drop it into a cooler for about 2 hours and just let it sit.
So obviously that doesn't fit in the confines of an hour-long show for us. How long did that cook?
What time did you start it, Brian?
I started at 5 o'clock this morning.
5 o'clock this morning.
Oh, God.
That's dedication. That's
It
dedication.
is.
Which is, by the way, how long it takes Jonathan to do the graphics for the show. So it works out the same.
Yeah, I'm definitely not up at 5 a.m. doing that, though.
Well, I'm getting older, so I'm up at 4:30, and not by choice, but it is what it is.
So when Brian's doing that, let's jump over to some Gourmet Facts, and when he comes in, we can back off a little bit. So let's go back to the main screen here. And our Gourmet Facts are brought to you by McGee's Smoked Meats and Crown Hits. Gourmet Facts, we've got some good ones. These are Texas facts, and we call them facts. F-A-C-K-S.
Okay.
Like hacks.
Okay, facts.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
It's always good when you have to explain it. From my old comedy days, if you have to explain the joke, then it wasn't worth it. But so if you have to explain what it is phonetically.
So here we go. The first gourmet fact we have today is chili is the official state food of Texas. Brian actually technically, I guess, got that because of Tex-Mex, but doesn't count. Chili is literally the official state food.
Texas chili.
Texas.
I wouldn't be surprised at that. You are surprised?
And to be clear, Texas chili does not have beans.
Ah.
I was thinking there would be barbecue, but this goes back to like the 1800s, and it was like it was actually voted in by their government as the official food of Texas.
Don't they have better things to do?
They do, but the state of Maine did the same thing for whoopie pies. It's the official dessert of Maine.
I understand that as a snack authority.
You learned that, and I learned about fiddleheads this year. So I think I'm done for the year on learning anything.
You are. Our next fact: the dogs are barking, so that means the brisket's getting cut up. Texas is larger than any country in Europe.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I mean, I guess it makes sense because they always show that superimposed photo of Alaska over Texas, and it's small. But I guess really.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Well, it's interesting because when you go and search Texas facts, I mean, everything's bigger in Texas. They have a fact for everything. So it was hard to break these down to the most interesting ones.
It's
and things
bigger than any country in Europe.
Country, yeah.
Wow.
Any.
They smoke more cigars in Texas.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
The dogs aren't going to get the other part of that. It's like way out of the way.
It's locked.
Oh,
here we go.
Look at that.
Perfect timing. We got the McGee's smoked meats up on the screen.
So yeah, you've got the one main fat there, but you can just see how everything broke apart. I don't know. I'm gonna
This
take
is
I'm gonna
if you
take
can
a
see the
picture and
liquid.
post it.
This is
Yeah.
2 hours and it's still.
So let me get a picture of this because what's interesting is you can just really see how broken down it is.
And we'll post those up online for everyone to see.
Jonathan's the Instagram person. Don't even go there,
No.
dogs. Yeah, not happening. No.
Here's the fact. Here's another fact. The Texas Capitol building is 15 feet taller than the U.S. Capitol.
Yes, that's true.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Bigger in Texas.
Yeah.
That one was interesting to me, too. I thought that was a really interesting fact. Useless, but it's definitely interesting.
Oh, it's just thanks for picking it up.
Does anyone know what the word Texas means?
What?
Does the word Texas, what does Texas mean?
You got to break that down. Texas. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you. It means friends.
Really?
Yeah, it means friends.
In what?
Spanish, I would assume.
Okay.
Yeah, I would assume some Spanish slang. How's that meat, guys? Tell us about it.
Oh, my God.
It's very different. It tastes, to me, it tastes more smoky, like it absorbs more of the smoke. And it also tastes more aged.
It does.
It tastes, like, Jonathan, you'd love it because you're real into the aged meat. It tastes like it's got age on it.
It doesn't taste like a regular brisket.
So it's got some funk to it?
Got a little bit of
but
that
I'm
earthy
not.
funk.
Yeah, but I'm not like Jonathan will go like I don't know 700 million days worth. I don't like it when it crosses that too much funk where it's distracting for me.
Yeah, I agree.
But this actually has like an appropriate amount.
And
Wow.
Since we're contractually obligated, we are going to go to the Carney Sizzle Cam, which there is no sizzle, just me. But that's brought to you by Meat and Bone and Florida Americana Gourmet Smoke Session. So I'm on your the sizzle cam today.
I think it goes on a little longer.
This is actually my protest.
It's a little rough.
I decided not to cook.
I mean, which surprises me.
Time. I could have cooked some food today.
Ah.
The jerky's good, but we need to get it.
It just breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
You need to eat what they're eating.
Yeah, it's killer. This is
Yeah.
the first time that I've never cooked on the show. And I was always like, oh, it'd be great to eat everybody else's food. And I always say it just to be nice. Like, I really would be great to eat somebody else's food.
So we think it could have went a little longer even.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. But the flavor is not like any other brisket.
No.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised.
I think Fred hit it. If you're a dry aged guy and you love dry aged meat, then you want to cook a Wagyu brisket because that's going to hit your flavor profile perfectly. This does not taste like anything I would get at Pecan Lodge or Franklin's or anything like that. It does taste like it's been aged. And I wonder if it not being frozen had anything to do with that too.
Well, that could be too.
Yeah.
Well, one of our Texases, I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, Bruce has said the name Texas is derived from the word Texas, meaning friends or allies, from the Native American Caddo language. Native American. All state name origins in the 1540s, Spanish explorers took Texas to be a tribal name, recording it as Tejas or Tejas Index. And I think I may need to have sources supplied for this, Bruce, since it's on the show. So if you can provide your source, we'll put that up. But yeah, it's Native American.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to be challenged by every Texan on something on this show for sure.
And the very last fact
That came from the lead.
is Dr. Pepper was invented in Texas in 1885.
Didn't you put that on your list?
Mm-hmm. Dublin, Texas. And, well, actually, it might have closed, but you can still go to Dublin, tour the Dr. Pepper factory, and buy original pure cane sugar Dr. Pepper.
Ah.
In the bottles.
Yeah, I know. How
really good. It's totally different.
Much better.
Mm-hmm.
Down in Mexico.
Well, those are our gourmet facts.
For brisket, you wouldn't want to put stuff
meats?
on that because of the different flavor.
This is the first time we've actually done a gourmet, the McGee smoked meats while he's eating the smoked meat.
Ah, so look at that, huh? You went full circle. It's good.
Brian just said, and I don't know if everybody caught it. If you're a sauce guy to put on your barbecue, which I'm typically not, other than maybe ribs, I have it. Sometimes I do, but I would not add any sauce to this.
Because it's so different. You don't want to mask it.
Nothing would help it.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to ruin it with sauce because you got to taste that meat.
So to me, this would be something I would do once, maybe twice a year because it's so different. I still think I would prefer a regular brisket, but this would be the perfect change up. But the flavor is so intense.
Jonathan, I wish you could try it because you're a dry age guy.
Yeah, this isn't
dry age. This is a fresh brisket.
No, it is.
The thing with Wagyu, which it does simulate some dry aging, Wagyu would dry age really well, but Wagyu has such a high fat marbling content to it. Sorry, high fat content to it. It's marbled so well that you when you're dry aging, you're breaking the fat down and essentially drying it through and pulling it through the muscle. There's so much marbling in Wagyu, you kind of get that flavor profile without the dry aging process. So there is some funk to it, and that's where fat's where it has the funk in it and the flavor. But it seems like it'd be really rich. Like I think that's like a really rich dish smoking that. And I said, just looking at the fluid that was left over when you guys cut into it, that's a rich piece of meat.
It is.
Well, and I got to give a shout out to Fort Butcher. These guys are doing this, and I mean, you read everything online and who has what, and we've tried a lot from a lot of different purveyors and stuff like that. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to bash anybody else, and it may be because this is fresh and never been frozen. But it actually does have me question some of the other Wagyu I've had as far as what percentage and stuff. Because this is don't even think about it. Keeping the dogs in line here. It actually has me question some of the other Wagyus. Not that they aren't good, because they have been good, but this is a different level.
I think it's because it's such a pure. A lot of Wagyus you go to your butcher and get, it's like 65%. Where with this being such a high grade, and the pureness is why.
And if you go to their website, they talk about the different levels of purebred and where it's pure and what percentages and things like that. And I think largely what we're not getting 99.5% purebred. I mean, unless and we can get A5. And this is definitely A5, but there's something different about this. There's something it's impressive.
Yeah, and then American Wagyu is becoming really popular. Just the name Wagyu in general is, and I know the Japanese will say that it's not authentic, and I'm a big proponent now since I've gotten into it above the true Japanese Wagyu has such a distinct flavor. It's really interesting. We cooked one a couple weekends ago, and I posted some pictures. We did a 24 karat gold A5 Wagyu beef tenderloin filet. It was amazing. But the American Wagyu is great because it's just different flavor. It's like with cigars when you're growing tobacco. It's taken on the soil and the flavor around it and what it eats, and it's definitely.
So how about compared to the piece that you microwaved?
Well, I mean, this has got way more smoke to it. Way more. I mean, the other one was just a really solid filet that I would put on par with a lot of the Wagyu products that we've had in here, filet wise. This is a different animal. This is totally different. Obviously much more fat because a filet doesn't even a Wagyu filet has a certain percentage of fat and more than a regular filet, but this is totally different.
Yeah.
I would say, like the analogy I keep thinking of is, the Japanese when they went for the whole single malt stuff and had like Yamasaki and stuff, which just kind of took the world by storm, because like, holy crap, they really knocked this off. Or when you look at like wines, the California wines that went over to France and all of a sudden they were winning awards and stuff like that. This I would love to see in a judge panel of guys that are pure on Wagyu guys, even above our level, to go, could this American Wagyu go and win awards against Japanese Wagyu? Because it is next level.
I think it would definitely compete with Australian Wagyu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're at our favorite segment. the would you rathers.
All right.
So here
Would
we go.
you rather not do this?
Would you
Yeah,
rather?
wait, just for the record. Oh, hey.
Oh. She's quick.
Man, she is quick. Brian and I have actually gone to like Pecan Lodge, and we'll get a 5-pound platter sitting there between the two of us. And a guy will walk by and give you a thumbs up, and a woman will walk by and go, "You guys are the most disgusting people ever." Mm-hmm. It is not abnormal for me to eat a pound of brisket, pound and a half of brisket, if that's all I'm having, maybe a couple little sides. This is so rich. Brian just said that it is so rich that, I mean, I'm going to my third slice, which I know some people will be going, "Wow, that's a lot," but for me, it's not. I mean, I can just eat this. I mean, it is really rich. You can really, it's really filling you up.
All right. So would you rather? So let's start. You're a cow. So I want you to pretend that you're a cow.
All right.
You're a cow.
I've been called worse.
Then you're a cow.
Would you rather churn up as ground beef or be cut into steaks?
Steaks.
Steaks.
Ground up. Ground up. It sounds painful.
Yeah, right.
Right, you did anyway.
You're dead.
You said I was a cow.
You are. But you're dead. Now you're a dead cow.
You know what? I'm going to be dead, so it doesn't matter.
You got to pick one.
I said steak.
I like to be smoked if that matters too.
Yeah. Nice slow
What kind
smoke.
of cow?
Yeah, savored.
What kind of cow am I? What kind of meat am I producing?
Well, that's for another episode. So I'm going to go with steak as well. This is where it gets a little dark here. Here we go. Would you rather be crushed by a rock or burned at the stake?
I would rather be crushed. I always feared the burning alive thing.
Yeah.
It's been a worry of mine. That's not how I want to go down. I don't want to drown, and I don't want to get caught on fire.
I've heard drowning is pretty peaceful from what I've heard. Maybe I'm wrong.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Yeah, who are these people who reported this thing? I would say the two ways I don't want to die are burning or drowning. So yeah,
all I know is
crushed by a rock.
I sneeze and water comes through my nose because I'm drinking something. I panic extremely. There's no peace there.
Brian's the only guy that waterboards himself. You know that.
Yeah, burning's painful. So I'm going to go crushed by a rock.
Yeah,
because that's instantaneous. Rock.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Wagyu burgers, hot dogs, or steak? Wagyu hot dog, Wagyu burger, or Wagyu steak?
Wagyu steak. Is anybody picking hot dog?
I think
I'm a hot dog fan, but please.
I mean, not if they're going to be on this show.
Yeah.
Have we learned?
Sorry,
nothing?
Clint Aaron.
Yeah. Well, Clint Aaron would be Wagyu corn dogs.
Yeah, Wagyu corn dogs.
I've had all three, I think.
Yeah, I have. And by the way, the Wagyu hot dog for me doesn't do anything. It sells just a hot dog. Wagyu burgers are awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm Wagyu steak, of course.
Yeah.
But the Wagyu burgers, though, for me, I mean, and I want to try these guys and see what see if it's any different. But to me, the mixed burger now, where you do like what I did on the show, where you did so much blend, but then you add brisket. And you do like a 30% brisket burger with the ground beef. To me, that's like the sweet spot.
Oh, that I never had.
Here we go. Would you rather smoke a cigar with Jason Voorhees in hell, Freddy Krueger in your dreams, or Pennywise in the sewer?
Who's the first guy? I don't know.
Jason Voorhees is Jason. The guy
oh,
with the
Jason.
mask.
So do what with him?
Smoke a cigar with him in hell, Freddy Krueger in your dreams, or with Pennywise the clown in the sewer. That's where they do all that gross stuff. The bad stuff happens in the sewer.
Again with fire.
I do the dream. In the dream.
Freddy Krueger with the dream.
Yeah, the dream.
Yeah, I'm going dream because, and I'm sorry, nothing with clowns. I don't nothing with clowns. I don't care if you said clowns and you're on a cotton candy cloud somewhere overlooking, whatever. No clowns. So
plus in my dreams.
And I don't know who Jason was.
Jason.
Jason, you know who Jason
is?
Oh,
from like Halloween.
Yeah, Friday the 13th.
Oh, see, I don't even.
Which was the one from Halloween? Mike Myers.
I'm going.
Jason is Friday the 13th.
I'm going with the dream.
Yeah, because I'm cut proof of the dream. So
that's like 4 for 4 right now.
That's never happened on the show, by the way.
Yeah, this is a first.
Well, here we go.
Let's screw it up right now.
Would you rather sleep with a witch or a ghost?
Like sleep or sleep?
I mean, whatever. This is a family show.
Is it a good witch or a bad witch?
I hope.
The good witch was pretty hot in Wizard of Oz, right?
She was. We could say either whatever you picture a witch. When I pictured like the Wicked Witch.
Right.
The East.
Her sister.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't want that. And the ghost.
See, I like the bad witch, so I'm going with the witch.
Really?
Oh yeah. Bad witch is for me.
Bad witch.
Arnie's fantasies here.
Sandwich, but badwich.
Badwich.
Oh, I didn't know sandwich was not. Yeah, okay, sandwich.
Sandwich.
Yeah, we're going off the grid. Sandwich.
So we got a lot of comments on this one here. So Mama Tobacco says she would smoke with Freddie in dreams, and then Agnes said she would take Pennywise because of her son's favorite character, and then Mama Tobacco again is going with a witch, and then William Cooper, very wise, very wise. He goes witch with tons of exclamation points because the witches in the show Charmed were hot, and they were.
There we go. There are hot witches, right?
I'm still going sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, sandwiches.
All right, smart move, smart move. Somebody's wife's watching the show. So that's the Would You Rathers for the week. Yeah, they were pretty clean. We had someone here, one of your employees. I won't say who it was, but it was one of your 2 female employees, and the only one that's in the Salem store had some pretty gruesome Would You Rathers that we had to kind of pass off.
All right.
Can you share one? I mean, we're not on like network. I mean,
Sarah, did you have any? Do you remember any of the bad Would You Rathers we had?
now you just outed which one it was. Who said it?
Just said
She's
her
right.
name.
She's right in front of us.
Now we can't. Now we can't.
I must have taken them. Yeah, she said I took all of them. So maybe it was Ben that had the bad ones. So yeah, we had a lot of good Would You Rathers. So that was a fun one there. But yeah, we did that one. Yeah, burned a lot. Yeah, everybody picked The Rock. So we were 4 for 4, and we had some people didn't participate in the last one, which is fine.
Who would pick Burned Alive?
Oh, that's a pain.
I mean,
well, terrible.
Hey, things are tough. Well, that gets the end of the show. I guess I'll do the final read here since you guys are reading. But thank you for watching the episode. We said with Gourmet Smoke Sessions next week, October 29th. 2 Guys Cigars.
7 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, 7 p.m. Eastern time on the Cigar Authority. Join back with us on November 2nd. We actually have 3 episodes in November because we do it every other week. So we got 3 episodes coming in November. I'll be cooking again on the next episode. We'll be announcing on November 2nd after the Gourmet Smoke Session here. We'll be announcing our next Gourmet Smoke Session, which will be in the middle of November. So we'll be announcing that. In the meantime, jump on meatandbone.com to participate in next week's session. 2 Guys, the number 2 Guys, cigars.com for cigar packages if you're interested in that as well. And
they're not even up yet, but they'll be up soon.
Yep, we'll have those up. And hackinggourmet.com, Hacking Gourmet on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So we'll have the YouTube up there, and I will continue to fight the copyright infringement that we have.
There we go.
And hopefully we'll have the Gourmet Play episode up on our YouTube channel and on the Facebook page. But thank you all for watching. That was the Texas Gourmet Massacre. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It went very smooth, and you guys cooked something great, and I'm really jealous about it. David, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, and we'll see you back here next week on Thursday.
Yeah, and thanks for spoiling him on a nice studio.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll be doing all live episodes from here.
And we're